Okay.
Rick, that's what they focused on. James, that's what they focused on. The Shady, SGA, we've been focused on him. Is he officially a superstar? Has he entered the superstar status?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, ain't no doubt about it. And the brother put that swagger on, too, now. He can dress. He can dress. I think so. Anytime you start talking about MVPs, having the best, record in basketball, the last 2 years being a big face, right? I think we're going to see him continue to do the same stuff. He left off last year. They had an early exit, right? But he balled out that whole season, and they continued that same thing, same journey. So, yeah, I think he's entering that realm of being a superstar. When you talk about basketball, you're going to say SGA. When you talk about elite players, you're going to talk about SGA. When you talk about good teams, you're going to talk about the Thunder. Why is that? Because the MVP, SGA. So, yes, I do think that he's in that special elite class of being a superstar, and I'm happy and looking forward to his future, for sure.
I'm interested in this conversation. I don't have a solidified opinion, so I just want to listen first. Slick Rick, what you got?
Yeah, I put him in the superstar category, and it's not just because of the numbers or I would even say the accolades. It's a little bit of like what we just heard at the podium, right? Leadership. That comes with the superstar, is that how do you carry yourself under the spotlight? Not just on the floor, but in every other way. And there is no question that he is the leader of this team. Yeah. But he's also the leader on the floor in terms of how he approaches the game. Like last night was a game where you want to snuff out any hope that Minnesota has. First quarter, he comes out, 12 points, 5 assists, 1 turnover. Like, no hesitation. I'm going to put my I'm going to put my stamp on this game, right? We've seen it in the fourth quarter. We saw it in the third quarter when Minnesota made their little run, right? They cut it to 20. Next 9 of the next 13 points, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the architect of those, either scoring or assisting. So when I put it in totality, yes, he's showing me that he has that superstar capability because he's answering the bell in every way.
Yeah. MVP means most valuable player in the whole dang league. Like the LeBrons.
Currys, all those other cats.
All them other cats, the Jokers, you're the best in the league. And then now you holding up a Western Conference Finals MVP. He is absolutely a superstar. My man has 11 30-plus points games this postseason.
Out of what, like 16, 17 games? Like, more often than not.
The only other people to do that is Kobe, MJ, Bron, Kawhi, and Olajuwon. That's the company that he is in. He has absolutely arrived. He is a superstar, and we're seeing it on display every single time he takes the court, even in the losses. He is like that. Shai is like that. He is here. Dudes around him in the Western Conference better hurry up and get better because OKC and Shai ain't going nowhere. He's absolutely a superstar. Acho, I don't know why it took you so long to answer this question.
What's your dilemma?
My reservation is this. It doesn't look the same as the names he mentioned. This might be the bad day to talk about it because yesterday Shai played one of the most exciting games I have seen him play. But there's the whole foul merchant narrative that follows SGA, and SGA brought it up very wisely, saying he shot more free throws than other seasons prior to this one. But when you compare Shai to Jordan, when you compare him to Kobe, when you compare him to Akeem, when you compare him to even Kawhi, it wasn't as though they were initiating unnecessary contact and then exaggerating the unnecessary contact that they initiated. It wasn't as though they found the loophole in the rules and then manipulated the loophole in which they found. Kudos to any individual that can find a loophole in the rules. Kudos to any individual that can find advantages. The Philadelphia Eagles, they found a loophole in the rules. Thus, Jalen Hurts might end up retiring with the most rushing touchdowns in Philadelphia Eagles history. It looks different. So you could say, man, Hurts, Westbrook, Shady, Saquon. Yeah, but if you watched it, looked different. So the reason I'm reserved isn't because I disagree with anything y'all are saying, but it's just hard for me to have watched Akeem. Obviously, he's Nigerian, so an affinity to Akeem when I was way too young. It's hard for me to have watched Kobe, for me to have watched Jordan, for me to have watched Kawhi, and then suggest that Shai looks the same. It just, it looks different.
Nobody looks the same.
Well, I'll say this, because that's a good point, but man, they can't guard this dude. I don't care. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of a taller version of Allen Iverson. get right to that mid-range, can't guard me. They used to foul Iverson the same way, not as much, obviously. But when you 6'6", I'm having easier shots now, you know? But as far as the quickness, getting straight to it, I ain't wasting too much time dribbling. That boy nice. You sag off him, he can shoot the three. Yeah. You play up on him, I'm going to dance on you and get to my shot, get to my points, and make shots. So, yes, he does get fouled a lot, but, man, they can't guard him. And then another thing is, what I don't like, what they're doing with the foul thing is, so let's say because he's averaging about 10 fouls a game, right? Mm-hmm. But maybe 4 of those fouls is legit, or 5 of the fouls is legit. They are just fouling him, and some of them he is selling them. But what I can't overlook is how good he is. And when you got all your best defenders, they still can't guard him.
So it's not that I overlook it, but you hear this analogy a lot, right? If you have a whole bottle of water and somebody drops just 1 ounce of poison into the water, you're not going to drink the water. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to overlook this whole bottle of water, but there is an ounce of poison in it. I do believe that
it's compromised a little bit.
Thank you. Beautifully said. The narrative around SGA is starting to become compromised because now, to Shady's point, say 90% of the fouls are legit. We're going to hyper-focus on the 10. Now, I will say I am biased. Mavericks' first championship, 2006. I'm sitting there second row next to a Birdman, next to Lil Wayne, next to Alonzo Mourning, and there is no greater free throw merchant in the history of free throw merchants, again, admitting my bias, than Dwayne Wade in that finals run. To this day, I'm still mad about it. Dude was shooting 20 free throws a game. So again, viewers at home, I am admitting my bias. But Slick, you know narratives. You've covered the game of basketball longer than I've known of basketball. How much will this follow and impact the potential superstar status, potential face of the league status, potential all-NBA status? Like, how much do you think this small narrative, like a crack in a window, will grow over time?
I can't believe that it is going to have that kind of an impact. I can't but feel that we don't have anything else to complain about when it comes to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So let's find something that we can take him down a notch, right? Said. And when I look at the whole foul merchant idea, like the reason that he's able to draw the fouls, and I think Shady referred to it, is because he can score in so many different ways. He can. Like, how do I play you? And so he can always, like, you're going to come up on me in the mid-range? Okay, I'm going to go by it. Like, he just has the ability to score in so many different ways. That's what allows him to get to the free throw line or to draw those fouls. And when I look at the number of free throws that he takes, first of all, 3 years ago, when they were 40 and 42, and they weren't making the playoffs, he took more free throws than he does now. Yeah. Nobody said a word. We weren't talking foul merchant then. Why? Because we weren't seeing him beating teams. And now we're thinking he's beating teams, because he's getting to the free throw line. Yeah. I disagree with that, largely because of the percentage of free throws that make up his overall scoring, right? Trae Young, third in free throws attempted, right? 14th in scoring.
Yeah. Got it.
Like, the only guy I can think of who actually is higher ranked in scoring than he is in free throw attempts is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Second in free throws attempts, first in scoring. Yeah. Everybody else is ranked higher in free throws and free throws attempted than where they rank in scoring, which tells me that there's so much more to his game. I can't look at the free throws and go, you know what, the reason he's good, the reason OKC's good is because he gets to the free throw.
You got to earn that too, though. My man don't settle a lot. If you're guarding Shai, you better be ready for this mid-range or me going to the cup. Yep. And a lot of that stuff be fouls. That's why you're right, Slick, because he told Richard Jefferson, everybody want to complain about my fouls now. I've been getting fouled all year long. I've been at the free throw line all year long, but now it matters.
Years.
He ain't doing no step-back threes when it's double teams and I am getting to this bucket, and if you got your hand on me, I'm going through your arm. I know how to draw the foul.
One thing I will say, though, and I go to the next block, is he's a superstar, so we look at everything more, right?
Yeah, of course.
But I will say this, though. If he stays at this elite level like that and they keep playing this foul game, I think eventually people will get tired of it.
Yeah. What you gonna do, though?
But hear me out, though, because it's like, I think about the Westbrook stuff with the triple-doubles. It's like, oh, man, now is he stat padding? Is it this and that third? You start looking at things. So I do think that, because when you look at like the Kobe's and MJ's and all the greats and Steph's and the KDs, like they ain't overselling these fouls because they can score. Yeah. So if you look at SG like, I think he's a scorer, because like right now I don't really mind it. He's getting fouled, but if we keep doing this, then all right, bro, play basketball. Because you're so good, you don't have to grab this guy's arm. Like, you don't have to do all that. James Harden was I used to think he was one of the best offensive scorers. Like, yo, blah, blah, blah. And then after a while, I'm like, okay, you so nice, but why you like grabbing the guy's arm and like acting like you start to get tired of it because you know a guy is so good. And then all the other great scores, because you talk about the great scores, I think SJ should be in there eventually. But when you start listening, like, all right, man, you don't have to do all that. So I feel that, what he's saying.
That's what up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.